Bonsoir. Bonsoir, vous êtes là?
Bonsoir madame.
Oui, bonsoir, ça va?
Ça va madame.
Have you started to revise? You've started revision yet? Allô? Have you started revision yet? Vous m'entendez? Vous êtes là? To do a few questions as a revision, and you are going to get these types of questions for the exams du genre. Okay. I'll start with something which is very important for the course, which is vital, even though, because you need to understand these two concepts very well for you to be able to answer your questions properly with these concepts well defined, well explained. Okay. So I give you one first question. Please take down the question. Explain the concept of reliability. Explain the concept of reliability and validity. Explain the concept of reliability and validity in quantitative research. In quantitative research, full stop. Why are these important? Why are these important? Okay. So I give you a few minutes. Please try to think about that. Try to jot down a few points so that we can discuss this question. Okay. Allez, je vous donne quelques minutes. think about it and allô? Oui, ouais, yes, Yann, correct. Oui, oui, bien sûr, je t'écoute. Non, non, au fait, moi, dans classe, nous, de je fais travailler une petite question toujours. Une petite 15 minutes pour libre. Allez, dis-moi. Ouais, t'es busy. Tu ne finis pas causer. Pas quoi? Ah, é coisa. D'accord. Moi, je pense que je suis muito busy. Non, tu connais, moi, je suis busy quand tu t'aimes pour ton mariage. Ah, rouge. Rouge. Ouais, pour que je l'ai exact. Rouge, non. Non, parce qu'il faut faire un gèpe, un gèpe avec un panier bouton rose bruna. Ouais, ok, ok. Parce que me target ça me dit la mon fait tout ça. Ouais, ok, good, good. Non, non, petit là pour faire un gèpe, non? Ouais. Non, non, petit là pour faire un gèpe, pour mariage, pour un gèpe avec panier. Ouais, ouais. J'ai avec panier pour mariage, elle a poussé. Non, non, me mettais pour inclus, petit là pour inclus. Et moi-même, je pensais, et quand on arrive là, moi, je pensais, c'est moi, je pas la dernière fois. Correct, correct. Et mon compte, t'allais mon compte. Correct, allez, allez, bye, bye. Shall we discuss about it? Je vous écoute. If you have such a question, how are you going to answer this question? Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire? Yes? result? Now you please talk to me. Don't send on chat. Yes? Yes, send me again your answer, Mr. Kaksi. What should you do for such a question? How are you going to tackle such a question? Allez-vous autres? This is supposed to be a revision class. Why are you so silent? Yes?
We start by defining what is quantitative research and the two different concepts. We give definition of reliability and validity.
Pas exactement définir parce que vous allez élaborer, définir et élaborer en grand et en large dans le prochain, in the next paragraph that will come, because the question is you have to explain the concept of reliability and validity in quantitative research and why are these important. First of all, what you need to do is you need to say that these two concepts are fundamental concepts in quantitative research, and they are very important. They are crucial for ensuring the quality and credibility of research findings. Okay, this is the main thing that you need to put as an introduction. Then, because this question mainly deals with reliability and validity, where you need to explain, to really elaborate on these two concepts. Okay. Then afterwards, when it comes to reliability, what is reliability? Yes? What is reliability? This is very bad. You have the two main concepts for this, and everyone is silent. I can't get a proper answer from you. And you have a paper to take. You have exams soon.
Madam, reliability
Yes.
is how far a similar study using similar method would obtain similar findings is less possible than quantitative research.
Yes. 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 Here in this question, you have to explain a few types of reliability that we have. Let me just give you a few notes on that. So please take down. Please write down. So as an introduction, you need to put that reliability and validity. Reliability and validity. Are two fundamental concepts. In quantitative research, and they are crucial for ensuring the quality and credibility of research findings. Full stop. Then you can say below is an explanation of these concepts and their importance. Below is an explanation of these concepts and their importance. First of all, reliability. Reliability refers to the consistency. Reliability refers to the consistency and stability of measurement. In other words, it is the extent to which a research instrument or procedure produces the same results when used repeatedly under the same conditions. Full stop. A reliable measurement should yield consistent results if the same test is conducted multiple times. Full stop. There are several types of reliability. Column. First one, you have test, retest reliability. This type of reliability assesses the consistency of measurement results. When the same test is administered to the same group of participants on or two occasions. Full stop. High test retest reliability indicates that the measurement is stable over time. Full stop. Now, retest reliability. Retest reliability is a statistical measure. Used in the field of psychometrics. PsychoMetrics. So I repeat, retest reliability is a statistical measure used in the field of psychometrics to assess the consistency or stability of a measurement instrument or a test over time, full stop. It is an important aspect of reliability. Because it helps to determine whether the results obtained from a test are consistent when the test is administered on two separate occasions, full stop. In other words, retest reliability assesses the extent to which a test produces similar or consistent results when administered to the same group of individuals on two different occasions, full stop. Okay. I read this paragraph again for you to be able to check whether you have got everything. So, retest reliability is a statistical measure used in the field of psychometrics to assess the consistency or stability of a measurement instrument over a test over time. Full stop. It is an important aspect of reliability because it helps to determine whether the results obtained from a test are consistent with the test is administered on two separate occasions. Full stop. In other words, retest reliability assesses the extent to which a test produces similar or consistent results when administered to the same group of individuals on two different occasions. Right? Now we move on to internal consistency reliability. Please write down internal consistency reliability. Internal consistency reliability measures internal consistency reliability measures, the extent to which the items within the questionnaire or test are correlated with each other, full stop. Common methods for assessing internal consistency. Common methods for assessing internal consistency. Include Cronbach alpha, full stop. Include Cronbach alpha, full stop. Okay. Now we come to the importance of reliability. Please write down. Let me just explain what is internal consistency. It measures the extent to which the items within the questionnaire or test are correlated with each other. For example, when you talk of items, it means the questions that you have within your questionnaire. Okay, whether they reflect exactly your study, they should be correlated and they should reflect your study. Of course, if you have a questionnaire, in the questionnaire you are going to put that to jot down all the questions relating to your study. Now, importance of reliability. Reliability is important because it ensures reliability is important because it ensures that the data collected are trustworthy and not influenced by random errors, full stop. And not influenced by random errors, full stop. If a measurement instrument is unreliable, comma, if a measurement instrument is unreliable, comma, it can lead to inconsistent and unpredictable results, comma, making it difficult to draw valid conclusions from the data. Making it difficult to draw valid conclusions from the data, full stop. Researchers need reliable measurements. Researchers need reliable measurements to make meaningful comparisons, comma, to make meaningful comparisons, comma, detect real differences or relationships, comma, detect real differences or relationships, comma, and replicate findings, full stop. And replicate findings, full stop. So let me just explain this part. So reliability is important because it ensures that the data collected are trustworthy and are not influenced by random errors. If a measurement instrument is unreliable, it can lead to inconsistent. You're going to get inconsistent results and unpredictable results, making it difficult to draw valid conclusions from the data. Normally, when we talk of quantitative research. We talk of measurements, and we talk of making comparisons, trends, finding relationships, correlations, and even replicate findings. Okay. Now let's come to validity. What is validity? What is validity? Yes, what is validity? Yes, so when it reflects a true picture of reality, this is validity. Please write down. Validity refers to the extent. Validity refers to the extent to which a research instrument or procedure measures what it is intended to measure. Measures what it is intended to measure. Full stop. In other words, comma. In other words, comma. A valid measurement accurately reflects. A valid measurement accurately reflects the construct or concept it is supposed to assess. The construct or concept it is supposed to assess. Full stop. Now there are several types of validity. First one is content validity. Content validity assesses whether a measurement instrument Content validity assesses whether a measurement instrument adequately covers all relevant aspects of the construct being studied. Full stop. It involves expert judgment. And the selection of appropriate items or questions. It involves expert judgment and the selection of appropriate items or questions. Okay, this was content analysis, content validity. So then we have construct validity. Now, construct validity examines whether a measurement instrument accurately represents the underlying theoretical construct. It is designed to measure. Full stop. It often involves the use of statistical techniques. It often involves the use of statistical techniques to demonstrate the relationship between the measurement and the construct. between the measurement and the construct. Okay. Next one, you have criterion related validity. Criterion related validity. Now, criterion related validity assesses the relationship between a measurement instrument, and an external criterion It can further be divided into concurrent validity. It can be further divided into concurrent validity, between brackets, measuring at the same time, and predictive validity in brackets, predicting future behavior or outcomes, close brackets.
Madame, vous pouvez redire la dernière phrase? Je n'ai pas pu noter.
Oui, je redis le tout là. Alors, criterion related validity assesses the relationship between a measurement instrument and an external criterion. It can further be divided into concurrent validity, open brackets, measuring at the same time, close brackets, and predictive validity, open brackets, predicting future behavior or outcomes, close brackets. Full stop. Now, let's come to the importance of validity. Why is validity important in quantitative? Validity is critical because it determines the accuracy and meaningfulness of research findings, full stop. If a measurement instrument lacks validity, comma, the data collected may not actually measure the intended construct, comma, the data collected may not actually measure the intended construct, comma, leading to erroneous conclusions, full stop. Valid measurements are essential for making valid inferences and drawing accurate conclusions about the relationships and phenomena under investigation. Okay, this is mainly what you have to write when you are asked to explain the concept. So you have to give different types of the concept of reliability and validity, which I have given. All right. Any question on this? Do you have any question on this? Je vous écoute. Pas de questions? Vous êtes là?
Oui, madame, on est là.
Je ne vous entends pas, on ne répond pas. As if I'm the only one in the class, I'm talking to myself. Okay, now please, if you don't have any question, please measuring instruments. What method you are using? The construct is going to go according. Yes. It is relating to the method that you are using. This is normally, and the measurement instrument, the measurement instrument is whether you are using a qualitative, surveys, interviews, etc. This is mainly the how you are going to measure your validity, etc. So this is mainly the measurement instrument. I had one question for you. I'm going to give you, we are going to discuss on a question, and for the exams, you are going to get this type of question. Okay? Please take it down. Imagine you are a social science researcher. Imagine you are a social science researcher interested in understanding the experiences of first generation college students in your university. Full stop. You want to conduct a qualitative study. You want to conduct a qualitative study to gain in-depth insights into their challenges, motivations, and coping strategies, full stop. And coping strategies, full stop. Okay. Now, how are you going to proceed with such a question? You are going to get this type of questions for the exams. Okay. So how are you going to outline your research design? Je vous écoute. You need to have your research objectives. You need to have your sampling strategy, data collection methods, analysis, approach, ethical considerations, etc. So, je vous écoute. How are you going to proceed with your research design? How are you going to outline your research design? Yes, je vous écoute. Allez-vous-en. How are you going to outline your research design? Excuse me. You need to outline, to make an outline of your research design. What are you going to write down first? What comes first? When we want to do a study, to have a qualitative study to do, in order for you to gain in-depth insight into the challenges of first-generation college students in your university, right? So, what is the first thing that you need to know, to write down? Yes, the research objectives. Yes, you need to write down, to clearly state, first of all, yes, very good. You need to clearly state the research objectives or questions you would like to address in your qualitative study. I want to fair to say, you need to have the research questions and the research objectives for you to start the study. Okay, you're going to follow the study is going to follow from the research questions and the research objectives, isn't it? This was the first one, yes. And the second one, what else? What else? When you already have your research questions, you already have your research objectives, what do you have to think of now? You good? Why are you doing on a chat? Can't you just reply on the here? Yes, Mrs. Ragu.
The design of the research?
Sorry?
Research design.
But yes, we are doing the research design. You have different steps in the research design, right? First of all, you said that you have to look for the research questions and the research objective. Fair enough, that's good. Then what next? You have several steps in the research design, right? The research objective and research question was the first one. Now give me the second step that you have to look for you to do that research.
Whether to use interviews or focus interviews, focus research.
Avant ça, qu'est-ce qu'il faut chercher?
A research on the topic?
Ça va venir après. Dites-moi après qu'est-ce qu'il y a encore. You have the research questions. You have the research objectives. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a à penser? What comes next? Non, tout ça, ça vient après ça, Monsieur Cassi. You need to decide about your sample. What is the sampling strategy? How are you going to select your participants for your study? You know, you are doing a research. You need a sample. How are you going to select? Okay, you have to describe how you would select your participants for your study and what considerations would guide you would guide your sampling decision. If you choose a type of sampling method, you should know why you are using this type of sampling method. You should be very careful at choosing your sampling method because it should be an appropriate one, which is specific, which is designed for your study. You can't be using, so you have to think well and to choose the appropriate sampling method. Okay. Then the third part is your data collection method. Okay. Here you have to explain the data collection methods you would employ to gather information for the first generation. And how would you ensure that the data you collect is rich and meaningful. Tell me for this one, what data collection you think is most appropriate? Yes? Which data collection is most appropriate for this study? It is a qualitative study. Where you need to get the insights, in-depth insights. What data collection method you are going to use when you need to gain in-depth insights?
Maybe observation to have valid data.
No, it's not observation.
Can we use open-ended questions, madam?
Using open-ended questions?
Interview.
Yes, it is open-ended question, but through which method?
Focus
Interview,
research.
madam.
Sorry?
Madam, structured interviews.
Structured, no. How are you going to get in-depth information if you're going to use structured interviews? You are not going to get in-depth information if you are going to use structured interviews. Qu'est-ce que j'avais dit?
Madam.
Yes.
In-person interviews.
Pardon?
In-person interviews, one-to-one.
Yes, exactly. Face-to-face interviews. It is through face-to-face interviews that you are going to get the most valid information, and it will be mostly unstructured questions. It will become more like a conversation for you to get the most valid information. If it is structured, you won't get that invalid information because there will be like a sort of barrier. The person will not be able to express himself or express herself fully. But when it is an unstructured interview, which is more like a guided conversation, this is where you need to get, I explain about this in class. You have to get the trust of that person for you to be able to talk to that person, and then that person is going to open up to be able to give you maximum information. Il faut réfléchir un peu, vous autres, quand vous faites des trucs pareils. Il faut bien réfléchir. You have to use your common sense a little bit, right? Then what else? Après data collection method, qu'est-ce qu'on a? What do you have to do after the data collection? Yes?
Analysis.
Yes, your data analysis. And how are you going to analyze your data? Which method you are going to use to analyze your data? Now, when you do an in-depth interview, which is fully unstructured, what are you going to get at the end? What is the outcome of the interview? You are going to get lots and lots of information in the form of what? You're doing the interview with the person. Sorry? Yes? Which officer? Could someone started to answer, then what happened? When you have the interview, you have your interview schedule, you are going to ask the questions to the person. You are going to either to record the conversation, or you are going to jot down the conversation, the whatever the person is answering. And then you are going to analyze this through various methods. But how is it called? What is the outcome of the interview? You are going to get what? In the form of what? You are going to get transcripts, is it? You are going to get transcript, that is where you have written all the questions and the answers in the form of transcripts. And these transcripts, you are going to analyze these transcripts. Now, what method you are going to use to analyze these transcripts? Don't forget, this is a purely qualitative study. So you have transcripts. How are you going to analyze the transcripts? Allez-vous autres? We did this in
We should
class.
be, excuse, we should be looking for repeated patterns of answers.
Yes, what method you are going to use? You have this in your manual, and I also explained this in class.
Madam,
Yes.
a qualitative analysis.
Yes, I am asking what method you are going to use to analyze qualitative research method.
Use a special software to encode the answers,
What software?
like SPSS.
SPSS for the, I'm sorry, madam, this is not SPSS, is for quantitative. It's not for qualitative. I did explain this in class, I remember. Yes, Mr. Cassie, exactly. You have thematic analysis, and then also you have content analysis. Someone told me about looking for the repeated patterns, repeated words. This is thematic analysis. Yes. You need to be familiar with the technical words, right? You need to use the technical words in your answers. Yes, you have to use thematic analysis or content analysis. All right? Then afterwards, what you have to do, when you have already analyzed, what also should you consider? Don't forget you're doing a qualitative study. What do you need to consider when we do qualitative study? Yes, Ditmo? Why is everyone giving me the answer on chat, which I hate? Why can't you talk to me? Yes, you have ethical consideration which you need to take into account. Yes. And then also, lastly, you have to check about the potential challenges that you might be encountering while doing the research. All right. Now, let's come back to the first point, that is in our research design. First point, we looked at research objectives and research questions. Now, for this particular research where you are interested in understanding the experiences of first generation college students in our university, now tell me, give me at least three uh, research objectives which you are going to use for this study. You want to conduct a qualitative study to gain in-depth insight into their challenges, motivations, and coping strategies. They'll give me a first research objective for this qualitative study. Allez-vous autres. Anyone? Yes, give me one example, research objective that you are going to use for this study.
How these challenges affect academic performance?
I can't hear you properly. Can you please repeat, Mrs. Rabu? Oui, dites-moi. Yes, Mrs. Rabu, tell me. How challenges affect. Yes, how the challenges affect the personal, the academic. Okay. Yes, this is the first objective, that is to understand the challenges faced by the first generation college students in their academic and personal lives. A second one, give me another one. Another objective, please. Anyone? You present.
Madam, we have to identify the factors that are affecting the problem.
The factors. Not exactly the factors, Mr. Sukar. It's mainly that you have to explore the motivations and the aspirations that drive the first generation students to pursue higher education. Don't forget, you are looking at first generation college students in your university. First of all, as Mrs. Raghu said, she talked about the challenges. We need to understand the challenges faced by the first generation college students in their academic and personal lives. Right? Then secondly, you need to explore the motivations, the motivation and aspiration that drive the first generation students to pursue higher studies, higher education. All right? And then give me a third one. Give me a third one, a third research objective. Don't forget, see, the question is you want to conduct a qualitative study to gain in-depth insights into their challenges. We have used the first one. We have designed a research objective regarding challenges. The second one is to explore the motivations. We have used motivation. Now give me a research question regarding coping strategies. Coping strategies for the first generation students. What are you going to do? Give me a research question for that. Research objective. Here you need to identify the coping strategies and support systems utilized by the first generation students to navigate the college environment successfully. Okay. All right. Take down the research objectives. So the first one is to understand the challenges. To understand the challenges. Have you already taken it or should I read again? You have it or should I give it to you?
Ma'am, you have to give us.
Okay. So please write down the first one is to understand the challenges faced by first generation college students. To understand the challenges faced by first generation college students in their academic and personal lives. This was the first one. Second one, to explore the motivations and aspirations. To explore the motivations and aspirations that drive first generation students. That drive first generation students to pursue higher education, full stop. To pursue higher education, full stop. Third one, to identify the coping strategies. To identify the coping strategies and support systems. And support systems utilized by first generation students. Utilized by first generation students to navigate the college environment successfully. To navigate the college environment successfully. Okay. Now, give me now regarding the sampling strategy, the second one, the sampling strategy. According to you, what sampling method you are going to use in this particular case? Vous écoute? Yes? Vous écoute? Tell me. Which sampling method you are going to use?
Stratified random sampling.
Why stratified? Pourquoi stratified? It's not stratified, by the way. It's definitely not stratified. Apart from stratified, what other sampling method do you think, which is most appropriate for this particular study?
Simple random sampling.
No, pas du tout. Pas du tout. Réfléchissez un peu, vous autres. Read the question again. Read the question again and find which type of study you are doing. What is your sample? What is your sample population? Huh? What is your sample population? Dites-moi.
First generation college students.
Yes, exactly. Now, how are you going to get these students? They are from your university. What type of sampling method you are going to use? This is not exactly a sample strategy, Mrs. Raghu. Yes, it is. It is. You need to consider this. Yes, it is. It mainly because you want to have more diversity in your research, in your study. Then you are going to use to include participants with diverse backgrounds in terms of gender, ethnicity. You can use academic majors and year of study, okay, within your sample population. Over and above this, I want the sampling method that you're going to use to get your sample.
Quota sampling.
No, pas du tout. Non, Monsieur Cassis, c'est pas ça. What other types of sampling method do we have which you think is appropriate for this study?
We have to carry out a survey. No.
No, madam. I'm asking about the sampling method. I'm not talking about the survey. And above all, we are doing a qualitative study. Survey has a place here. Any idea? First of all, you need to use purposeful sampling. Why? Because given the specific focus on the first generation college students, purposeful or criterion-based sampling will be employed, can be employed. Participants will be selected based on their self-identified status as first-generation students. To have a university, you are going to take those from the first-generation student. Just imagine a big university with different years, different cohorts, different years of studies of students, but you are using the first generation. This is a purposeful. You're going to use only that one, right? And also you can be using also snowballing. Snowball sampling may be used to identify potential participants through referrals from initial interviewees, helping to access students who may not be easily identifiable through traditional recruitment methods. It can be snowballing also. Okay. Now, please take down for the sampling strategy. First of all, you have purposeful sampling. Given the specific focus on first generation college students, given the specific focus on first generation college students, purposeful or criterion based sampling will be employed. Full stop. Participants will be selected based on their self-identified status. Participants will be selected based on their self-identified status as first-generation students, full stop. Secondly, you have diversity, just to have a more diversity in your study. So to capture a broad range of experiences, efforts will be made to include participants with diverse backgrounds. Participants with diverse backgrounds. In terms of gender, comma. In terms of gender, comma. Ethnicity, comma. Academic majors, comma. And year of study. And year of study. Third one, snowball sampling. Snowball sampling may be used to identify potential participants. Snowball sampling may be used to identify potential participants. Through referrals from initial interviewees. Through referrals from initial interviewees. Helping to access students who may not be easily identifiable. Students who may not be easily identifiable. Through traditional recruitment methods. Through traditional recruitment methods. Full stop. Now we come to data collection methods. What did we say that which data collection method we are going to use? You can have a diverse a list of them. First one, what is it? Najisa, tout à l'heure là. Vous êtes là? Yes. Face-to-face in-depth interviews, face-to-face interviews, first one. Second one, qu'est-ce qu'on peut s'en servir encore? Don't forget, this is a purely qualitative study. What other method do you have with qualitative study?
Group interviews.
Sorry.
Group
interviews or
interviews.
focus group? Group interviews or focus group? In this case, it would be mainly focus group, right? And then what else? What else? No? What can we do? What can we use more when we are? What other method can we use when we are using qualitative research? You can also use participant observation. Yes? What type of participant observation you are going to use? Allez, vous êtes. I'm the only one talking here. Yes, definitely. We are going to use overt participant observation, right? Where you can observe these people, these students in their academic, in the social environment, academic and social environment, right? And this is, of course, going to provide additional insights into their experiences. Okay, so then there is one more thing that we can be using also. You have document analysis, where you have personal narratives, essays, academic records which are there. You can still use that. So please take down for the data collection methods. So in-depth interviews. First one is in-depth interview. In-depth semi-structured interviews will be conducted. In-depth semi-structured interviews will be conducted with the selected participants, full stop. Now these interviews will be designed. These interviews will be designed to encourage open and honest discussion. These interviews will be designed to encourage open and honest discussions about their experiences, challenges, motivations, and coping strategies, right? Second one, you have focus group. Additionally, focus group discussions may be employed to facilitate peer interactions, and provide a platform for group reflections on shared experiences, full stop. On shared experiences, full stop. Next one is document analysis. Relevant documents such as personal narratives, relevant documents such as personal narratives, essays, and academic records may also be examined to complement the interview and focus group data. Next one is participant observation. Observations of participants in their academic, and social environments. may provide additional insights, into their experiences, full stop. Next one, you have data saturation. Explain what it is. Now, data collection will continue. Until data saturation is reached, meaning that no new themes or information are emerging. From interviews or observations. Full stop. Okay, now we come to data analysis approach. Let's come to data analysis approach. What did we say that how we are going to analyze the data? Qu'est-ce qu'on avait dit tout à l'heure? How are you going to analyze the data? Je vous écoute. J'ai dit ça tout à l'heure là. How are we going to analyze the data? Oui, je vous écoute. Yes, exactly, through thematic analysis. Now, when we do thematic analysis, qu'est-ce qu'il y a dans thematic analysis? How are you going to proceed with thematic analysis? How you are going to analyze the data? How are you going to analyze the transcript? Qu'est-ce que vous devez faire? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? What is the procedure while doing thematic analysis? Je vous écoute. Anyone? Reading the questionnaire and listening to the answers. Yes, yes. Then what else? You analyze the patterns and the themes which come out within the qualitative data. There is a process known as coding. Yes. There is coding, categorizing, and interpreting the data. So please take down. So thematic analysis will be used. This is for the data analysis approach. Okay. Thematic analysis will be used to identify and analyze. Patterns and themes. Within the qualitative data, full stop. Now, this process involves coding, comma. categorizing, and interpreting the data, to uncover commonalities, and differences in participants' experiences, full stop. And differences in participants' experiences, full stop. All right? Then afterwards, you need to explain on the ethical considerations. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a principalement comme ethical consideration que vous devez mettre, que vous devez considérer dans votre study? Dites-moi. What are the ethical considerations you need to take into account in your study? Allez, vous êtes celui-là, c'est facile. The university consent. Oui, disons. The university approval. Yes. Consent, informed and uninformed. Yes. Après informed consent, etc. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a d'autre? Il n'y a pas que ça. Il y a encore. Tell me. Yes. You have the confidentiality. You can write on confidentiality. You can write on voluntary participation. Please take down these few points which you can develop later on. So for the ethical consideration, you need to write on informed consent. Okay. Second one on confidentiality. Third one on voluntary participation. Now that is the participants can withdraw at any time, at any point in time within during the interview. Okay. Now, what are the potential challenges which you get while doing this study? What are the potential challenges which you can have? You're doing a study, a qualitative study. We have talked about the sampling, etc. Now, over and above all that, what are the potential challenges which you can have while doing your study? Yes? First of all, you can have participant recruitment. You can have participant recruitment, right? Then also you can have emotional responses. And then you can have bias and subjectivity. These are the main challenges that you are going to have. You have time and resource constraints. Okay. So I repeat the main challenges. First of all, you have participant recruitment, where Identifying and recruiting first-generation students may be challenging. Identifying and recruiting first-generation students may be challenging, but snowball sampling and collaborations with student organizations. But snowball sampling and collaborations with students organizations can help overcome this. Okay. Second one, you have emotional response, where participants may share emotionally charged experience. Participants may share emotionally charged experiences. Full stop. Researchers should be prepared to provide support. Researchers should be prepared to provide support or referrals to appropriate resources if necessary. To appropriate resources if necessary. Next one is bias and subjectivity. Next one is bias and subjectivity. Researchers' personal biases and subjectivity. Researchers' personal biases and subjectivity may influence data collection and analysis. May influence data collection and analysis. Full stop. Efforts will be made. Efforts will be made to mitigate this. Efforts will be made to mitigate this through reflexivity and triangulation of data sources. Through reflexivity and data collection and triangulation, of data sources. And the last one is time and resource constraints. Time and resource constraints. Qualitative research can be time-consuming, Qualitative research can be time-consuming, So researchers will need to carefully plan. So researchers will need to carefully plan data collection and analysis. Data collection and analysis to manage time and resource limitations. To manage time and resource limitations. Okay. So this is mainly these are this type of question that you're going to get for the exams. I would advise you to read your question well. Try to think well to use your mind to think about the sampling as we just did. What type of sampling method you will use according to the type of study that you're going to do. What are the research questions? You should know what are research questions, research objectives, etc. Okay. Any question? Any question? Pas de question? Bruno. Anyone? Any question? No? Pas de question? Okay, if you don't have any question, then we'll stop here for today. It is eventually our last class. I wish you all good luck for your exams. Please revise properly, read your questions well, understand what the question is looking for. I've just given you one example of how a question might come out. So please read the question properly, understand it, and specifically understand what the question is looking for. Then you start writing. But don't forget that you have compulsory questions in section A, which carry 50 marks. Then you have section B, where you have 3 questions, essay type questions. Out of 3, you need to choose 2. You have only 2 hours to do all that, so you need to work very fast, very quickly. All right? So I wish you good luck. This is our last class, as I said. Thank you for being my student and for this cohort. I don't know why we won't meet for any further classes, I guess. So good luck and thank you. You are here?
Merci, madame. Merci
Okay.
beaucoup. Au revoir,
Okay.
madame.
Okay, bye-bye. Work well.
Bye.
Bye.
Merci.
Thank you. Bye.
Merci, au revoir, madame.
Okay, au revoir.